What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Bree. I go by Knots by Bree on all of my social media. If you're new here, I normally don't do my intros in my car, but for this video, we're gonna start out going yarn shopping because we're going to be trying to basically like beef up. I don't like that term, but like enhance my Instagram because for the month of February, I did not get any pattern tests. Well, like the very last couple days of the month, I got selected for a pattern test, but it's not due till like March. So I think I'm gonna include it in March and just say for February that I didn't get any pattern tests, and I wanna go ahead and make my Instagram better so that way people can kind of see my work and it just looks a little more clean cut and put together. To do this week, I'm going to be using some free Instagram patterns, which after we purchase our yarn, I'll go through all of them with you guys and we'll kind of discuss what my vision is for them. But I will also have all of the patterns linked below if I can, or at least the Instagram account that I got the pattern from. And I'm going to try to make them all kind of like spring or just really fun and cute patterns that are free on Instagram, and we're gonna try to use those to make my Instagram chef's kiss, so that way I can possibly get selected for more pattern tests in the near future. In January I did get selected for quite a few, but February I just didn't, and I did apply for quite a bit, at least like 20. Like, I don't know, that sounds like a lot. Maybe it wasn't 20, but I think it was at least 20. And some patterns I like, but I don't even apply to them. If the person has over 20,000 followers on Instagram, they're not gonna select me to do a pattern test because I barely have like less than 200. So they're gonna select people that are probably more than likely gonna like push their pattern out and push their pattern forward. Now I have had it in the past where I was selected by a person who had like 10,000 Instagram followers, and they were super sweet and I enjoyed working with them, and maybe they would work with me again, but they just haven't produced another pattern that I wanted to apply for. So we're going to Joann's, Hobby Lobby's, and Michael's. We're going to hit all three because I don't know what Joann's is gonna have in stock, and Hobby Lobby has some sparkly yarn that I want, and Michael's has some. Oh, I'm doing my first order. So someone, since I started crocheting, a friend of mine has been asking me to make her a Pooh. So I am finally gonna make this Pooh, but red yarn is really hard to find. So I'm going to go to Michael's to get that. And I basically have my colors as option 1, 2, and 3. It comes from Joann's, Hobby Lobby, and Michael's. And it's just dependent on what's in stock and what's available because, as you know, Joann's is going out of business. But I'm gonna stop yapping. Welcome to my channel. Subscribe if you're new here and you like crochet content. I crochet tapestries, plushies, wearables. I really don't discriminate. And yeah, let's get started. I'll meet you guys at Joann's. It's definitely so sad seeing the store closing signs. I did not think I would actually have an emotional reaction, but apparently I care more than I think I did. But that's fine. It'll be fine. I'll be fine, right? This is like the baby section. It's pretty empty, but I don't know if I need any of these colors. So I'm gonna check my list and then we'll see from there. So it looks like the plush line, they have plenty. And then I did get my gold that I want to make my dragon. I mean, honestly, not too bad. I have to find Posh, but I'll see what they have as far as Posh here in a second. Yeah, it looks like Posh is really what's mostly gone. I don't think I need any of these colors, honestly. So I am gonna have to go to like Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I was wondering if I could use this for my Pooh, this yellow and this red, but I think this is not like a true red like I want it to be. So I think I'm still gonna go in to Michael's, and plus it'll be more expensive if I get it here. They didn't have any of the Juicy Couture colors that I needed, which were like purple and a blue, a really dark blue. So the only thing I got was some tapestry yarn, gold, and this hot pink for details for the Kirby that I plan to make. Their Burnett selection was pretty limited too, but I think it's because I like velvety yarn or baby yarn, and that section was pretty much wiped clean. I needed like an emerald color they didn't have. So hopefully Hobby Lobby comes through for me, and then if not, I'll end up at Michael's, which I have to go to anyways for the Pooh. Oh, and fiberfill. Like, for the love of everything, I cannot forget fiberfill because I don't have any. I won't be able to stuff any of these toys. So yeah, wish me lucky. I'm gonna go head over to Hobby Lobby. It's not that far away. Let's see how far it is. Is it this one? I don't know. There's a couple. Unnamed road. That sounds sketch. So it says it's 9 minutes away. So that's where we're going. Okay, I'm at Hobby Lobby, and a 9-minute trip took me like 25. No, not that long, but I took a wrong turn and it was on the side of a freeway, so I couldn't loop back around. So we're finally here. Let's go shopping with my cute bag that I got from Joann's. All right, because I'm so unfamiliar with Hobby Lobby's yarn, this is gonna take me a long time and I may not be able to record it all, but here's just a peek at their fully stocked shelves. I think that this is one of the blues I really liked. But I don't know. I don't remember it being 80 yards. That seems really, really small. I remember it being one of these that have like the 161. So I'm gonna, oh, for sure this one. I'm gonna make a goblin with this. This is not the right color. It's sparkly, but it's not this color. It's this color, but sparkly. Look at this color. It's so beautiful. Okay, here it is. This is definitely not giving goblin, so I'm not gonna make my goblin with this. But isn't it just so pretty? I'm gonna make my goblin with that one. Well, I just love it so much. And then here is another line that they have. This is Snugs and Kisses. I think it's like a baby yarn. Very nice. And then the adorable. These are cute, but like 38 yards. What is up with that? Who's making something with that? It's not enough. This one has 92 though. I'm thinking about giving my goblin a little charm. What do you guys think? I don't know. I love the rose and the velvet, but like I also think that hand painted mushroom is giving. I don't know. I wish they were on sale. I would get both of them. This brand has amazing ones, but I don't want to spend $6 just for that. That's more than the yarn that I'm spending to make it. Look at that one. Look how cute it is. Is it gonna focus? Isn't it just so cute? And then this cute one. Yeah, they have super cute ones. And then look at this one. Like a little book. It's adorable. So I'm at Michael's and I am just now realizing I've actually never in my life shopped for yarn in Michael's. I've never even seen yarn in Michael's. But I mean, obviously they have it. I see some here. So this would be the yellow. It's super thick. I'm wondering if I should use a smaller and double it up, but I would need it to match the red. So I'm gonna play around for a bit and I'll be back. All right, we are back from shopping for our yarn. I'm gonna quickly run through the patterns so that you guys know what we're making. Sorry about the lighting. I don't know what's going on with it, but we're not gonna let that stop us. We're gonna keep moving forward. This is the bag of yarn here, so let's get into it, and in no particular order. I'm just gonna say them as they got sent to my computer, like from my phone or whatever. The first free pattern I'm gonna try to complete is Cinnamonroll. Now this one is towards the bottom of the list just because it takes up a lot of white, and I have some other projects in here that I want to use the white for. But if I do get around to it, I'll make Cinnamonroll. And then these cute little chubby chicks. So for these chubby chicks, I bought some yarn and I'll show you them. Sorry, my daughter is down here playing with them because they're so tiny. I haven't even opened them yet. We're gonna open them and test them together. We're gonna open them and test them together when I get around to it. I bought these, you guys, from SHEIN. So I know a lot of people were saying like they purchased yarn from Temu, but I have purchased things from Temu before. I haven't purchased yarn. Sorry about my daughter. But I bought these from SHEIN and I'm really excited to try them. They're like super skinny so that if you want to make keychains, like plush keychains, that's what these are for. And I couldn't find them anywhere else, or I would have purchased them, you know, from a different like supplier. But I'm not against purchasing from Temu or SHEIN if they're like the only place that has what I need, or if what they are providing me is at a price that is reasonable. So like for charms and beads and things, I don't think you have to go out to Hobby Lobby and spend like Hobby Lobby prices when you can get the same beads and the exact same charms on Temu or SHEIN. Let's actually take one out. I was kind of waiting just in case. Let's see. So we're gonna take it out of the package. It doesn't have a smell, which is good. Look at how thin it is. Oh my gosh. It's so thin. Yeah, it is so soft. I'm really excited to work with it. Any of the smaller patterns that I put up on screen, I'm gonna be using this yarn for. I wanna try this bear. I already have brown yarn and yellow yarn, so I didn't purchase any. The green, I'm gonna use whatever color I have extra to make that. Okay, so this sloth, he is towards the bottom of the list, but if I do have time at the end of the week, I would like to make this sloth. I think he's cute. And I really like the little hat. You guys know I hate beanies, but I stay making patterns that have beanies in them. So hopefully it's not too challenging if I do make this pattern. So these space babies are another one that I'm gonna try and do with the yarn I have here. I do have more colors. I was just grabbing them off the floor. But you know what? I don't have, oh, here you go. She likes to play with them. I don't have any purple for like the Saturn. I'm kind of sad. I could do pink though. But I do have like a blue and green for the earth. I have yellow and orange for the sun. I could do the Saturn in like pink and red or something. I don't know. I have tons of colors. I'm gonna throw these down so she can play with it. Oh, thank you. Are you gonna clean up? Oh, I do have a purple. You were sitting on it. I do have a purple. So I do have a light purple. I think I'll do it in light purple and pink. So the next pattern is the Satsuki, the moon nymph. Satsuki, I don't know, but I love this creator, Lemon Cat Crochets. Her patterns are chef's kiss, but she did release this free one and I'm gonna be making it. I've had it on my list for a while. I'm gonna dig in our bag. Oh, I got this bag from Joann's, you guys. I make things. It's going out of, like, it was on sale because, you know, they're going out of business and I had been wanting it for a long time. So I finally was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make her in the navy blue that I purchased. So I have two of these. Move the bag. So I have two of these to make her in navy blue. The options were navy blue or purple, and I just couldn't find a good purple yarn. So I went with navy blue. This one is a Crochet Grove pattern. I bought the gray in Hobby Lobby for this, and it is flannel gray. Let me see. I bought two of these. Flannel gray for the bunny. And then for the overalls, I have a blue color already in my closet that I want to use, and I have a light blue for the hat. So kind of like how hers is dark purple and light purple, I'm gonna do dark blue and light blue. I think it's gonna be cute with a gray bunny. I'm so excited, you guys. Like, my Instagram is gonna finally have some really cute things on it. This snuggler, just having her next to me is a trip, you guys. She is just too much. The snuggler, the Triceratops, I may or may not make it. I did not purchase any yarn to specifically make it, but we'll see what happens. So we'll see if I make it. I do like the pattern. I'm just not sure 100% if I'm gonna make that one. I am definitely gonna make this one. I'm gonna use some velvet yarn that I already have, and I have some floral wire that I think will help to hold up the flowers. So this goblin, you definitely heard me talking about this goblin while in Hobby Lobby. And I'm looking at it now and I'm like, I need more yarn. So hopefully this is gonna cut it, but I just don't think it is. And if it doesn't, then I'll have to figure something out. But I'm gonna go with a green goblin. And then I have white for like the inner ear and stuff. I'm gonna make it a little silver necklace with these little things on there. Okay, so this one is Marie the Lady, and I'm gonna use velvet yarn for this. I already have it in my closet. It's gonna be a white velvet and a pink velvet, and I think this is the first thing I'm gonna make. I'm excited to make this, so it is the first thing I am going to make. Yeah, I love that cat. If you know me, you know I love that cat. I love Pooh, I love Marie, there's a few Disney characters that I'm just like obsessed with, but her personality is just everything. So I love this cat. And then this is the Winnie the Pooh that I'm going to try and make for my order that I have to do. And Hobby Lobby, Michael's was the worst. Maybe it's just my Michael's. They didn't have a big selection. Everything was everywhere. It said they had like 5 of these in stock. This was the only one I could find. It's the Sweet Snuggles Light. I originally showed you guys the thicker yarn, but I genuinely hate working with that yarn, and I was like, okay, that's not gonna happen. So I think I'm just gonna double it up, and if I run out, I'll just have to get another one. And then I'm going to also do the same with this red. I'm gonna double it up. It's not even like a true red, but red for me is the hardest yarn color to find. This is more of like a burgundy in my opinion, but I think that it will still look really good. So I'm gonna double this up as well. It's the petite pearl. I'm gonna double it up and make it that way. So I'm gonna use these two for the Pooh. I'm finishing my one pattern test now, and then I'm gonna make the Pooh. I did purchase a few other colors. This gold is for a dragon I'm gonna be making. I have been holding on to this dragon like idea in my mind for ages. And I'm finally gonna be making it. And I bought some fur for some accents. I think I might use it on the Goblin. And then I bought some purple because I need it. I'm gonna make a Kirby. So these two colors are for a Kirby that I'm gonna be making another week, not this week. So you'll have to come back. So yeah, that's what we're doing this week. Let's get into it. I would talk more, but my daughter is like, she's doddering right now. I don't know when I'm gonna actually start. Probably in a little bit. I'm gonna finish my pattern test and then I'll come back and show you, and then I'm gonna move on into Pooh. I actually still have to purchase the Pooh pattern. I'm gonna purchase a Pooh and then they're crazy. And then yeah, we'll go from there. All right, you guys, bye. Okay, so I finished my pattern test. I'll post a picture of it because the lighting isn't doing it justice, and I did paint these eyes myself. They're just like a purple glitter. Will it zoom? Sometimes my camera doesn't want to zoom. Here it is. It's like a little root fairy. And now I'm gonna go grab the yarn and move on to the Marie pattern, which is a free pattern on Instagram. Okay, so the kitty is coming out a little smaller than I would have hoped, so I'm gonna double this yarn because this is like the head. You start putting the eyes and sinking it and stuffing it, like it'd be too small. I'm gonna double up the yarn and then use a bigger hook size. I'm gonna go up to a 5.5 to just give it a little bit more oomph, because again, remember, I'm trying to create pieces that are gonna like elevate my Instagram, and while small pieces can do that, I need to have some statement pieces too. I really like this cap and wanted her to kind of be a statement piece. Here we are around midnight. I'm gonna go to sleep, but I wanted to say that I always forget that in order to grow Instagram you have to do reels, and I always start assembling it before I record anything. So I need to take a moment before I do my next project or pattern and think of like what reel I want to create and have that in mind while I'm creating it, so I don't get to a point like this where it's basically done but I haven't recorded anything. A little bit more to go tomorrow and then she'll be done. And this is a double strand on this velvet white yarn here. Here's what I've made so far this week. Next, we're gonna go ahead and work on Pooh. So also I did learn from Marie the cat, I do not like when I double up the yarn. I just don't think it looks as clean as when it's just individual. So I'm just gonna make Pooh regularly. I'm not gonna double it. I will say I am super proud of this Pooh. I counted every single stitch and I wanted it to be perfect because I'm actually making this for someone. And it's coming out fairly jumbo. So she may say, you know, she wants a smaller one. We had a little bit of a miscommunication there, but if that's the case, we'll see. So here's the body. It's gonna be so chubby, and the pattern does say to firmly stuff, so I firmly stuffed it. And this is not a free pattern off Instagram. I did pay for this pattern, but I wanted to show it since I haven't made so many of the free patterns because this took up a little bit of time. Like I actually made this in one day. I think I'm getting faster at crocheting, guys. I dare to say I'm getting faster. If you hear that, the lawn people are here. His little arms with his little thumbs, I think these are cute. And then his head is where I said like he's massive. This is really what took up most of the yarn. So this is his head. It is still missing the nose and obviously like the eyes and the ears. This was the last of the yarn that I had. His ear's not even fully like done, so as you can see it's still gonna be bigger. But yeah, I might have to re-record this depending on how loud the people are outside. But yeah, look at how even my stitching is. Like I put my heart into making this. This is why I don't crochet for people or sell plushies, because it's just too much pressure for me. Okay, it's too much pressure. I don't want to be like trying to be overly perfect. Obviously, even when I make things for myself, I make them nicely and I want them to be cute, blah 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 blah. But when I'm making something for someone else, I'm my biggest critic and nothing is ever perfect. So it's hard. It's really hard, but I am loving this. If she doesn't like it, I'll keep it, whatever. But yeah, I have to run and see later if there is some Sweet Snuggles light left. And if not, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I wanted to talk about this yarn. As you guys know, I said I would be kind of doing a small review on it. I did purchase it from SHEIN. I don't like the way the crinkle paper sounds. Hold on, here it is. I did purchase it from SHEIN, and I did so because I wanted a yarn that was super thin to make like some keychains. I've been obsessed with like these little mini Pokemon patterns I've seen. I didn't purchase them yet because this week I wanted to make some free patterns, but I will be purchasing those and using this yarn to make some little cute Pokemon. But let me show you what I did make. So I'll put the creator of these free little patterns below. She makes basically like these, but plushies, like little person plushies of Saturn, the sun, the earth, and then they are usually like holding these little ones, and she has these as a free pattern. So here they are. We've got earth. It's supposed to be like a little sprout. I dropped it. It's supposed to be like a little sprout on the top of the earth. She has on the pattern to use cotton, but I wanted to stick with this yarn. But here it is. My circle's a little wonky for some reason. And then we have Saturn. Hers, she did purple. And then I have the sun. I love them all. I don't have a favorite, maybe Saturn, but I just think they're all really cute. I think that the yarn is really good for keychains. Now, I will say that I did end up double yarning it because it was just so thin. My hook size would have had to been like a 2. I think I was initially using a 2, and it was just, I don't know how to describe, like when you're trying to grip the yarn, it kept like slipping. So I did go ahead and double yarn it, or double strand it, so that I could create these. Something to compare it to, this is the petite from Michaels. This is the petite yarn from Michaels, and this is the keychain yarn from SHEIN. So as you can see, it's very, very thin. Like it is thinner than this yarn. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but the petite yarn is actually thicker. I hope it'll focus. On Saturn, I did use this for the ring, and they worked well together. I don't think you can really tell, but I didn't double strand the petite. It's just single strand. The yarn is really soft. I didn't have any issues with it snapping. I didn't really have to do much sewing with it. I kind of just inserted my hook and then like pulled it through and then cut it. So here is it. And I mean, yeah, so it is fraying on the ends if you kind of tug it. Oh, when I was closing my magic ring, not all of them did, but some of them I would like close my magic ring. It wouldn't break, but the yarn would kind of like fray right there down to the string. So I do recommend this yarn. I paid $1 and some change for one. I think they're about 100 grams each or whatever. I think the price is good. If you're just making like little keychains for a market, I think they would be perfect for that if you didn't want to use cotton yarn. Oh, so yeah, that's all I have to say about my SHEIN yarn. I'll try to link it below if I can find it if you're interested. And then I wanted to talk about this. So this is Yarn Bee, and it's not a full skein. I've been working with it. It's a velvety smooth sparkle in olive. I picked this color because you guys know I'm making like a little grumpy goblin. I really like this. I don't find that the little sparkles fall out. I was always under the impression, since this is my first time working with sparkly yarn, that it was like tinsel and yarn together, like 2 strands, but this isn't like that. It's like little specks of tinsel, and I'm obsessed. Like I know some people don't like Hobby Lobby just because of their morals or whatever. I personally am a Christian, so take that with whatever you want to take that with. Just all Christians don't, you know, believe in imposing their beliefs on everyone. How about that? As a Christian, we should all believe the same things, but that doesn't mean that we all want to impose our beliefs on everyone else. So take that with what you will. I don't mind shopping at Hobby Lobby. I like the offerings that Hobby Lobby has. And yeah, this yarn is really nice. If you like to shop at Hobby Lobby and you haven't tried their Yarn Bee sparkle yarn, I definitely recommend it. It is definitely not as soft as a like regular yarn. It has a little bit of roughness to it because of the sparkles, but I really like it. I love the way it looks, and my only concern is the yardage. I just feel they don't give you a lot of yarn. I know the $4.99, was this $4.99? Yeah, the $4.99 price seems really low, but especially for some of their other ones, it's like 80 yards. If we're comparing it to like Parfait Chunky, where you get 100 grams for around $4 too, but I'm only getting 80 grams for $5 at Hobby Lobby, and you're actually paying more to get the same amount of yardage, because now you have to get 2 from Hobby Hobby Lobby and you have to pay $10. Anyway, that's all I have to show. I showed you guys my 2 yarns and everything I made so far. I'm gonna get back to I'm gonna run actually to Michael's. I might take you guys with me, and then I'm gonna keep crocheting. But yeah. So this is probably a fool's errand and they're not gonna have it, but we'll see. So I know the chances of finding it are super slim, but we're here and we're looking. That's what I'm gonna do. Just gonna look around, see if I can find it. Because last time I did kind of find it as an accident. It was just in a random spot. Even though they don't have it on their website, like this is Sweet Snuggles Light. I think this is Sweet Snuggles Light. They do have some, you guys. So they have these boxes up here, and so I just said, you know, YOLO, you only live once. I just started pulling them down. Would you look at that? I am so happy, like I could cry. You don't understand. I almost gave up and didn't do it, but look at it. I got one. I got one. I'm gonna finish this Pooh. Like, I've never been so excited in my life. I'm so happy. Like, so what had happened is on the shelf they didn't have it, and then they have these little bins under, and I couldn't find it. So the first time I came, I saw the boxes at the top, and I knew it was overflow, but I was like, they would have brought it down since the weekend. But I was like, you know what, YOLO, if it's not here this weekend, I'm gonna have to wait until this weekend and then drive across town to a different Michael's. I might as well just like, and there's no workers in there, so I was super nervous about getting caught pulling the boxes down. The boxes up at the top, they weren't heavy because they were with yarn, so I just shimmied them down, looked, and it was in the 4th box I looked in, you guys. Second to last box, the only one. I looked through all of the rest to make sure there was. I was gonna get another one because at this point it's buy one get one 50% off, but there was no other color I wanted, so I was like, I'll just get another one, whatever. In case she didn't like this Pooh anyway, she might want like a different style Pooh she had sent me, which was after I had already started this one, which doesn't matter right now. But I was definitely like praying, like, I need this yarn, Lord. Like I just can't finish this project without it. And they had quite a bit of Sweet Snuggles Light for it to be discontinued. Some of it didn't feel like as good as others of it, but since I'm not as familiar with it, I can't be like, oh, that's the bad one, that's a good one. I didn't care. I needed it. Good, bad, ugly, I was getting it. So I got, watch me pull it out and it'd be like the wrong thing, like Home Slim or something. No, it is Sweet Snuggles Lights Dandelion. Okay, here is the Goblin that I made with the sparkle yarn and the rose charm. I did add some other beads to him. I painted the eyes. You guys, I am so sick of these eyes I got from Amazon. They, like, this one's already starting to pop out. Remember I had mentioned it on the other one? So here he is. I'm going to add him up there to the things I crocheted this week. I am about to start the Moon Nymph with this navy yarn. After I finished the Goblin, I took a little break and went back to the Pooh. I'm just feeling super uninspired, and I think it's because I ended up having to do a second Pooh head, which I'll show you guys because the first one was just too big. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm sick of Pooh. If you don't know, I'm a huge Pooh fan. I love him. This was the first head. It was just too big for the body. So also his nose is a little crooked, so I'll fix that on the next go around. But I already finished the other head. These are the third pair of eyes I made this week. They are probably my favorite, only because the green ones, I couldn't really tell that they were, it's not focusing. I couldn't really tell that they were supposed to be green, but I like these. All right, you guys, let's review the patterns I was actually able to complete this week. I definitely did not get as much done as I had wanted, just because towards the end of the week, my life just kind of went boom and blew up, but that's okay. I'm going to just keep moving forward. To me, what is most important before anything else is my children. So being able to be here when my daughter gets home from school, make sure she has a snack, like ask her about her day, and not being home at 6 p.m. and exhausted, those things are really important to me, and I don't feel like sacrificing that, you know, while my children are young. You guys are not here for my life drama, so let's just get into the patterns. I was able to create a few. I did 3 pairs of safety eyes, I did a commission piece, and the free patterns, and I'll show you guys everything. The first thing that I created, Marie the Lady, I think is the name of the pattern. I'll have everything linked below. And here she is, now I will say I double stranded this. If she looks, what's the word? If she looks kind of like thicker, I double stranded the yarn because it was a really thin yarn, and I do really like and enjoy her. I did sew her head on a little bit crooked, but yeah, one of her eyes also is popping out, so I am so sad about that. It's also happening on another plush, but this last one, I found something at home. I know a lot of people said you can use, if you don't have the tool, you can use like a screwdriver with the removable head to kind of like push it down, but I have something similar to that I used, and it worked really, really well. So I'll be using that moving forward to try and avoid the situation with the eye popping off. But here she is. I think she came out really cute. I enjoyed the pattern. I did have to use a different bow pattern for up here, just something I found on Pinterest, because the one that was included just didn't give bow to me. It was a little bit smaller and it didn't have the oomph that I wanted for her top bow. So I did use a different pattern for that. But that's it. Everything else is from the free pattern. And I did have fur yarn, you guys. I didn't even think about it. I should have done like her little hair piece in fur, but I was just moving along, not paying attention. The next was a pattern test, a root fay. I really enjoyed making this pattern. I loved making the eyes. Anything with like these little ruffles, I really, really enjoy. I just think they're so fun to make. And I think it came out really cute. I will have the pattern linked below if it has been released by the creator. The next free pattern that I completed was my Goblin, and when I tell you guys, the thing I was most excited about this week was the Goblin and the Moon Nymph, and I was able to complete both of those. Okay, but like, stop. Just how cute is this Goblin? Okay, so I love the pattern because he's just like a little grumpy little goblin. I love the ears, I love the horns. The pattern is just perfection. And then I did paint these eyes. I don't know if you can tell, but it's like, it's green. I think it comes out black because it's really a dark green, but it's green with gold to kind of go with his sparkles. And I added some details like on his horns. I gave him some beads. I gave him a little necklace. I just really love this one, and his eye is popping out. So if I wanted to sell him, I couldn't even sell him because his eye is popping out, and that is not safe. I think I would have wanted to keep him anyway. He's super cute, but I am getting a little overrun with plushies. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with these. I think I've told you guys before, like, I don't have an Etsy. I'm not actually selling anything, so I just have a bunch of plushies laying around, and I don't know what to do with them. My daughter loves them, but because of my youngest, I don't really let my oldest keep them too often because she'll leave them out, and then my youngest could get them, pull the eyes off. It's also partly why I do a lot of embroidery eyes. This pattern, super good, super easy to follow. This same creator has a line of Eevee evolution patterns that I am obsessed with. So before I hop into my next free pattern, let's talk about the commission that I did, which was Pooh. So I did make a mistake. Well, I didn't make a mistake, but the pattern, the head is really big and the body's a little bit smaller, and I thought it was kind of giving bobblehead. So this was the first head that I did for Pooh. I absolutely love this. I'm gonna keep it as a pillow. I think I'm just gonna sew the whole hole in the bottom and just keep it as like a Pooh head pillow. So because that head was too big, I went ahead and did another one, which was this guy. It does have a smaller head. As you can see, it does fit the body better. And I think he's just as cute, but I will say the person that I made this for, she wants a chubbier Pooh, so she ended up not wanting it, which is okay. I'm not upset or anything about that. I know it does happen. I know a lot of people who do commissions take payment up front because of things like this. Like, someone will ask them to make something and then they'll be like, oh, well, that's not what I envisioned, or that's not what I wanted. Depending on what was agreed upon, I will probably put him for sale whenever I figure out how I'm gonna sell things, because I just don't need this super big Pooh. I might have him in the back of my videos until then though. But here he is. Let me know down below, how much would you pay for this? I've never sold any plushies, so I don't know how much something like this was gonna go for. I was gonna sell it to her for $40 plus shipping, so she would have had to pay for the shipping cost on this. Let me know, is that a fair price, 40 bucks for Pooh, or should it be more or less? I am definitely curious to hear your guys' opinion on this. The last pattern I have to show is my Moon Nymph. This is the back. You can see his wings and his tail. So I was worried when I went to Hobby Lobby. I think I expressed, I was genuinely worried because their yarn comes in such short yardage. Yeah, such short yardage their yarn comes in. So I grabbed 2 of the navy so that I can make my moon nymph, and I still ran out of yarn. So his tail was supposed to be really long. He was supposed to have some ears back here, but I just ran out of yarn for it. But here it is from the front. Okay, these eyes, I'm gonna put a video or a picture here because I don't think you guys are getting the real like view of these eyes right now, but I'm obsessed. I made these yesterday and they are my favorite pair I've made so far. Here he is. Hopefully you can see him. Yeah, I'm so obsessed with this. I love it. It's supposed to have like a little moon right here, but I didn't want to break up my color pattern that I had with my white. And like the white is so ice. It's like pearl. I'm obsessed, you guys. I don't know if you can tell, but I love this. It's my favorite thing that I made this week. All right, you guys, that's it for me. That was all I was able to get through this week, but stay tuned. Come back next week because I'm gonna be doing a part 2 with more free patterns and a few paid patterns if I can get to them. I'm going to pop a few on the screen that I still am interested in doing, and I'm also adding a few from YouTube that I'm interested in doing, and as we can see, I did not get half of what I needed to get done this week done, so they will probably even be a part 3 because I am trying to get all of these done. I bought the yarn for it, so why not? Yeah, I'm really excited about posting these onto my Instagram and seeing how it performs. I did try to make reels for them because I really struggle with reels because it takes a lot of forethought, and I'm like, oh, I start crocheting and I'm like, dang, I didn't record. So that's a problem that I am trying to overcome in order to, not just for my Instagram, but for my YouTube shorts. They help me gain subscribers. If you haven't subscribed and you watched this whole video, please subscribe. Maybe I can stay home and crochet and make content instead of having to go back into the office. So if you like crochet content, if you like my vibe, subscribe, help me out. I do really appreciate it. And yeah, that's it for me. Come back next week for part 2. I'm gonna be making and sharing more free patterns with you guys. All right, that's it. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.